Hi, welcome back. I'm Gabriel Bedoya and I'm going to talk today about the readings that has been essential into my process to recovery from fibromyalgia. During all these years of research, I have discovered good readings and good books that has been very good critical factor of success into my process of recovering from fibromyalgia. I'm going to mention just a few of them, but I really highly recommend that if you can have time, you can read them because they bring information that is reliable and very good for your process of recovery. I'm going to start with my first book was Fibromyalgia Fatigue. It has been written by Dr. Santaman. This was probably the first book that I put in my hands when I would start researching fibromyalgia. This is a very good book who explains in detail all the factors and symptoms. It educates me a lot about what is fibromyalgia, how I can start assembling a plan to recover from fibromyalgia. In this plan, Dr. Santaman talks about something he calls the Wifenacin protocol. I highly recommend it. Please have a look on it because it was my first book and my first reading about fibromyalgia. And then I bought the second book from Dr. Santaman. This book is called What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Fibromyalgia. And this is also a very important book, a complementary book of Dr. Santaman, who explains in more detail about fibromyalgia and about their Wifenacin protocol. Well, why these books became important for me? Because the average patient of fibromyalgia takes 3 years to be diagnosed, to get a diagnosis of his illness. So sometimes when you get desperate and you don't find any answers from doctors, you're gonna find many answers on Santaman's book. Then I read my third book. This book is called The Fatigue and Fibromyalgia Solution by Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum. Dr. Teitelbaum helps me a lot. By the way, I was his patient, and he showed me his protocol that he calls SHINE protocol, which stands for sleep, hormone, immunological, nutrition, and exercise. Dr. Santaman's protocol helps me recover in the beginning because when I start talking with Dr. Santaman, with Dr. Teitelbaum, I was really sick, and I was recovering step by step using his protocol. And I have to give thanks to Dr. Teitelbaum for this magnificent book, and I highly recommend that you read this book. And then I find the Fibro Manual from Dr. Ginevra Liebman, and I consider this book for me is the most important book on fibromyalgia treatment. I consider this is the you must have book if you suffer from fibromyalgia, because Dr. Liebman explains her treatment in a very simplistic way, which if you're not a doctor, you got to understand the single steps that you have to take in order to recover from fibromyalgia. I highly recommend this, and I think this is a very important book in fibromyalgia disease. And then I find the Fibro Fix from Dr. David Brady, and for me is more like a summary of all the books that I have mentioned before, and it is good book in order to control your pain. I would like to recommend this book to all the people and all the patients with a lot of pain. This is a very good book in order to heal from your pain. And I cannot forget, and I have to mention Tammy Stackhouse and Take Back Your Life. Tammy has inspired me a lot, and probably I'm here today doing these videos because of Tammy. Tammy recovers from fibromyalgia, and she founded the International Fibromyalgia Coaching Institute, which I'm a member of, and she created this magnificent book, explaining also in a very simplistic way, in a very quotidianity way, the treatment and how you can face your life and recover your life from fibromyalgia. And this is also a very important book that you must have. And then I have this book, Like Sound, and this book is from Dr. T.S. Wiley and Ben Formby. And for me, this book is one of the, probably one of the most educative readings regarding circadian rhythm. This book put all the pieces together for me. When I start researching and trying to understand what's going on with my life and with what's going on with my illness, this book put all the pieces together, bring every pieces of the puzzle together, and I learned a lot from these guys. This is a very good book, and I highly recommend too that it's a must read. And in the future, probably I do videos explaining and talking about individually any of these books. When I start my treating my fibromyalgia, I have to do it the hard way because there's no one doctor who can drive me to the process. So I start assembling the pieces together, taking advantage what Dr. Titelbaum teach me about his SHINE protocol. So one of the things that I consider that I need to take care mostly of is my nutrition. So I start researching nutrition, and I discovered two books that for me became two important things on my healing process. The number one is Eat Fat Get Thin from Dr. Mark Hyman, which by the way it's kills a lot of myths about fat and how we eat today. So this is one of the books that helps me a lot in my process of recovery, and I follow today. Today I say I live under what Dr. Hyman calls vegan diet. So I'm a paleo vegan, and thanks for Dr. Hyman who create this magnificent book that helps me in my healing process. And then I discovered another book that is called The Grain Brain, the Whole Life Plan of Dr. David Perlmutter. This book was completely, how can I say this? It's really relevant for me because it helped me to relieve from something that in fibromyalgia is called fibro fog. I end my fibro fog after reading Dr. Perlmutter's book. I highly recommend this book. Please take this book and put it in your library, because this is going to help you a lot in recovering from your fibro fog. And finally, I would really like to talk about Bruce H. Lipton, and this book is called the Spontaneous Evolution. This book teaches me many things that I know as an anthropologist, but sometimes when you are immersed in the science, sometimes you don't see outside. So this book teaches me how the environment is very important to qualify my health. How the things that happens outside my environment are very much important in order to protect my body, protect my health, and also to work in my process of healing. The Spontaneous Evolution is also a very important book in my process, and I hope it works for you as well as it works for me. So thank you very much for watching, and please stay in touch. I'd like to see you guys soon. Thank you.